What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joey Work, Rump Your Bets. I'm back another Friday. You know what that means? I got another UFC fighter with me. This week I got Sasha Palatnikov. Hopefully I said that right. What's up,
Perfect.
Sasha?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Sweet. So, first off, congratulations on your impressive victory in November. I know a lot of people counted you out beforehand, and I was definitely rooting for you. What a fight that was. So, what was it like getting in there the first time in the UFC octagon?
Oh, I mean, it was everything I imagined. Let's just put it that way. It's just been a thing that I've, set a goal I set quite a long time ago, and being able to visualize it over and over again. I'm a huge MMA fan, so being a fan of MMA and competing in MMA and being a martial artist, it was all kind of something that I always wanted to do. So that when it finally did come, it felt very natural. I loved the whole experience of fight week, and even though now in COVID times it's a little bit different, but just everyone that works at the UFC and is involved with the company are just super friendly, super high energy, positive people, and you just feel good, and you just want to go out there and perform. And fortunately for me, even after going through that whole COVID thing, I was able to come out and put on a performance. And like I said, it just felt natural, and it was just something that I felt was meant to do. And thankfully, it happened just now. So
Yeah.
looking forward to the next one.
That was awesome. So I did see an interview where you said your dad was like sending you videos of guys on YouTube picking against you, or obviously showing you no respect. First off, I want to say I wasn't one of those guys, but can you tell me a little bit about that and the motivation that brought with it?
For sure. So we were sitting in the hotel during fight week, and my father's in Hong Kong currently, so he was sending me like YouTube pics and stuff that other YouTubers with their channels thought the outcome of our fight was gonna go. And like you said, not a lot of them backed me at all. There was, like, I would say, out of maybe 10, there was one guy who gave me like a pretty well done review, but out of the rest of the 9, they just counted me out. And but that's okay. Ignorance will usually do that. So I'm coming from the other side of the world, not necessarily a big spotlight over there yet, or still to this day. Asian MMA, I think, is some of the most underrated MMA on the planet. And coming out to the US, it was always a dream of mine to be in Vegas and compete in the UFC. So to come out here and then hear people that are obviously tuning into every UFC event and know pretty much every fighter on the roster, to see like me as a no-name guy, I don't blame them. So it was a bit of a chip on the shoulder. I was like, man, I gotta prove these guys wrong. But at the same time, it was like I was so focused, and then it was actually it kind of pissed me off that my dad did send it to me. I was like, man, I'm trying to stay focused on this, and he's sending me that. But I think he pushed the right buttons, and it kind of put a chip on my shoulder, and it led to me watching some interviews actually by Lewis, speaking on the fight. And that was also something I don't usually do, but I was glad I did. And again, everyone underestimates what they don't know. And then once, they have to see it first, first and foremost, you're going to get hurt by it. And then you're going to have a different opinion, obviously, by the outcome. So I'm glad that I was able to change a lot of, let's just say, people's parlays all broke. But, it's definitely a nice way to come into the UFC, put a bit of a splash, and then maybe have some bitter fingers in pockets afterwards. But hey, next time they'll bet for me and hopefully make some money next time.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that said, was there any response after the fight, people thanking you for at least like 5 times their money if they're betting on you?
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
I had a lot of people, people that know me, who really know me, they were like, man, this is easy money. And then even randoms, like I had so many random people just message me like, oh, like there one guy from Russia was like, I put 15 grand on you to win.
Holy shit.
I was like, good for you, man.
Like, hey, can I get a cut or what?
I don't even know you, but at the same time, like, I'm happy that people were able to make some money off of me. It's kind of weird. I've never been in that position, I guess, being able to fight with betting lines involved. So I had people messaging me during fight week, begging me to win, and saying like their whole savings, and guys from maybe smaller nations were just like desperately messaging me like, "Are you feeling good? Are you ready?" Like, so it definitely adds a little bit of pressure, but at the same time, you just don't want to hear that stuff either. You just kind of want to focus on what you got to get done. But I believe that the more pressure that adds up for me, the better it is. I like it. I thrive in it. So if I've got a lot of people counting on me, it gives me that kind of extra push to go out there and get the result.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right, so I know you got a 50K bonus. Anything special you bought with that?
I went to France. My she's French, and she's supposed to be here in the States, but unfortunately, because of COVID, our K1 visa is, it's like in the process. It's still, we don't know. So we haven't seen each other for 7 months. So that was the first thing I did after I booked the flight and went out there and spent Christmas with her and her family. Fortunately, it was, with this whole COVID thing, everything just becomes so much more complicated. So I had to apply to the French consulate, and they had to give me permission just to go visit her. So thankfully it all worked out. And yeah, that was probably the first thing that I purchased, and maybe Domino's afterwards. But but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. That at least you used it for something meaningful. I've heard people, there's some funny things people buy after that. But
yeah, no, I'm saving, investing in myself, and then we'll get some more.
Yeah, very smart. So I always ask the fighters how they got into the MMA world. So how did you really start in this sport?
I was 5 years old. I was a very high energy kid, a little bit crazy at home, and my parents just wanted me to get rid of that energy. So they put me in. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, so they didn't really know necessarily where gyms and martial arts was, but somebody recommended a place, and it was a very old school style. And I was 5 years old in a dojo with people aging from the ages of 5 up to 66. So, it's very traditional kata, it's very traditional, old school. You don't do anything wrong or you get hurt. So I was put into that at a young age, and I didn't like it at all for about 3 years of my life. I hated it, actually. It was something that I really did not like to do. It was actually traumatic as a young kid. But my parents just, not only did they pay for it up front, so I had to go, but they were just consistently putting me back in it. And I'm talking like crying, holding the door frame with my fingers, like trying not to leave. That's how much I didn't want to go. But after a few years, I started to get a little bit more confidence and got stronger. And then I eventually kind of started to compete, and was competing around Southeast Asia in Goju-Kai karate. But once I got into kind of high school, all my friends played team sports, and it was kind of weird that I was the martial arts kid at the time. But I've always loved combat sports, so I played rugby. Rugby was a sport that I played to a professional level, and I would always, in the off season, always do some form of martial arts, whether it be boxing, Muay Thai. I just have always enjoyed it. But when I finally made that decision, I was 19 years old. I said to myself, I've got the skills to strike. I've been doing it for such a long time. It was just like there. It was not even something that I thought about. And then I thought, well, I really like the concept of jiu-jitsu on the ground and stuff like that. So I just was like, I'm going to learn everything I can about the ground and wrestling and grappling. And I just pretty much obsessed over that. And then after I fought at once as an amateur, that's when I was like, okay, I think I can do this. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah. All right, that's cool. So I know you did just fight in November, but do you have a target return date, possibly an opponent you're looking to fight?
As soon as possible, and anyone. I thought I would have had I thought I'd have matchup by now. I've just been kind of waiting, but I'm just, like I said, whoever, whenever, just call me. I'll sign the contract. Like, that's how I feel right now. I have a feeling maybe they were talking Singapore in April. Maybe because I'm a Hong Kong guy, I'll make a appearance on there. I'm not sure. This is just all hearsay, but
yeah.
I'm strangely, I thought I would have, like I said, I thought I would have been matched up by now to someone, but we'll see. I know there's a lot of welterweight fights that are scheduled to come up, so maybe they want to see how those unfold before they do match me up. But again, this is just hearsay, so you're gonna find out when I find out, because as soon as I find out, I'm gonna announce it, and then yeah, go do what I know I can do, because now I don't have COVID. I'm currently training, so whenever that phone call does come, I'll be ready to go, and I think I've had enough time to really put on a good performance. Even though my last one was a good performance, but I think I could do even better than that one. So that's what I'm looking forward to doing next.
Got it. All right, that's great to hear. Yeah, so there is a fun question I normally ask all fighters, how their nickname came about, but I see you don't have a nickname. Is that for a reason? Do you eventually see yourself adopting a nickname, or?
I don't know. I have a really long name, and it's kind of like stands out for itself. So I always thought, what do I need a nickname for? And also, I'm not gonna give myself a nickname if maybe like something was to catch on, or one of my coaches or somebody, who knows, anybody that just something was cool and just kind of caught on, and it worked, then yeah. But I've never been like issued one, and I'm not the kind of person who's gonna give my own nickname. I'm not that guy. So yeah, Sasha Palatnikov for now.
All right, cool. So if it's all right with you, we'll run through your thoughts on the main card for tomorrow's UFC 258 event.
Sure.
All right. I know you put out fight predictions on social media, so you should be pretty good at this. First fight we got is Julian Marquez versus Maki Vitolo. These are two Dana White Contender Series prospects. Square off here, 185. Marquez hasn't fought since a split decision loss to Alessio Di Chirico. That was back in September 2018. Before that, he won 5 straight, all by round one or round 2 finish. He's a guy that prefers to stand, use his power. He does have a 3-inch height advantage and 2-inch reach advantage here. As for Maki, he's 2-3 in the UFC, including his Contender Series fight. Like Marquez, this is another guy who really prefers to stand and bang. He packs a heavy punch. He is off a decision loss to friend of the show, Impa Kasagane, but he did look pretty impressive in that fight. I doubt this one really sees the judges' scorecards. What do you think about the first fight on the main card?
Yeah, both heavy hitters, like you said, and I'm pretty sure both are gonna, be trading. So I don't know. Marquez hasn't fought in a while. I know he's had a lot of fights falling out, and I feel like he's been training a lot, so he's probably in good shape. Maki Vitolo, he's another guy that just has, I think his nickname is a Coconut Bomb.
Coconut Bombs, yep.
Got some serious power in those hands. If I was gonna pick, I think it's gonna be a close fight. Hard to say, but I'm gonna go with Maki Vitolo.
All right, the underdog. I like it. All right, so next fight is Iain Heinisch versus Kelvin Gastelum. Heinisch had her Factory X in altitude in Colorado. He's 4-2 in the UFC, including his Contender Series win. He's off a TKO victory over Gerald Meerschaert in June. Iain is overall very sound. He has very good top game. He's a standout wrestler. He's very active on the feet as well. As for Kelvin, he's lost 3 in a row, but obviously to some very good competition. Izzy Adesanya, Darren Till, Jack Hermanson got him last time via heel hook in the first round. He has very good boxing, excellent hand speed, good footwork, and he definitely prefers to stay in the pocket. How do you see this fight going?
I think just based on, where the level of competition Kelvin's fought, coming off of 3 losses, I'm pretty sure he's going to get back in the win column against Iain Heinisch. I think Iain's a tough guy. I think he's like a workhorse. But I feel like his technique is not at the higher level of let's say Kelvin's boxing, where I think he'll be able to expose him. And again, Heinisch is the taller opponent, so getting under and trying to take someone like Kelvin down is going to be a challenge in itself. Who is also has a decorated wrestling background. So I'm going to go with Kelvin, get him back in the win column, hopefully get a nice finish, and then maybe can get a contender fight, get something back in the top 5. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Kelvin on this one.
All right, I like it. Okay, so now we go on to the main event, Macy Barber, Alexa Grasso. So these two are evenly matched as far as height and reach. Macy gets back in the cage after her first loss of her career a year ago in January to the Happy Warrior Roxy Modafferi. Pretty sure she tore her ACL in that fight and eventually got finished. She did look decent in the first 2 rounds. Before that, she had finished 7 of her 8 victories with 5 by knockout. She has beat some good competition, including 2 other females on this card, Jillian Robertson and Mallory Martin. As for Grasso, she's in here after a decision victory over Ji Young Kim 4 months ago. She is 4-3 in the UFC and also has fought some very good impressive female fighters, including Carla Esparza, Tatiana Suarez, and Carolina. This should be a fun female fight. What do you think about the co-main?
Yeah, coming off ACL surgery, Macy Barber, and a loss to Roxanne Modafferi, teammate of mine, great person. You know, I actually remember Grasso's last fight, and I thought she looked really good, especially in her stand up. And I don't know, I think I'd seen her previously. I think maybe it was a loss, and I thought she looked a bit flat. But she came out that last fight against the Korean and looked sharp. And that Korean girl's really tough as well. So it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be interesting to see how Macy bounces back. She's a competitor. She made some strong statements saying that she was going to be the youngest champion. So let's see how she responds to her loss. But if I'm going to pick, I'm going to go with Grasso on this one.
All right. All right, on to the main event. Kamaru Usman, Gilbert Burns. Man, this should be a fun one. Former training partners get in there for the welterweight bout. Looks like they have a little built-up animosity, maybe. They didn't shake hands at the weigh-in. Dana had to separate them. So Usman, winner of 16 straight. He had one loss almost a decade ago, 2013. He's beat everyone the UFC has thrown in front of him, including Daniel Maia, Leon Edwards, Rafael Dos Anjos, Tyron Woodley, Colby Covington, Jorge Masvidal. I mean, if Usman wins this fight, he's got to be an argument top pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC. As for Burns, he enters this after his first 5-round fight, win over Tyron Woodley. He has won 6 in a row, dating back to 2018, a KO loss to Dan Hooker. I think he has an advantage grappling here, but more than likely, I don't think he'll be able to submit Usman. Usman's the superior wrestler. Since these two know each other very well, I'm interested to see the game plans from each of them. How do you see the main event going?
Yeah, it's a very interesting matchup. Both former training partners of mine as well. When I was at the Black Zillions, I was training at the Black Zillions when Kamaru was making his, well, not debut. He'd already, won the Ultimate Fighter, but when he did eventually make his UFC debut, that's when I had started at the Black Zillions. So I was a part of quite a few of his camps. Kamaru is a beast. He's a champ for a reason. But Gilbert, it's funny because I actually never really got rounds with Gilbert because I was a 185, 170, and at that time he was a 155er. So, I was considered a bigger guy. So we kind of stayed away from each other, same as Michael Chandler. So I actually never really got to go live with Gilbert compared to what I did with Kamaru. And, I'm gonna as if I was to put my money on it, I would go with Kamaru. I think he's gonna break the record or level the record with GSP, and I think potentially and I don't know, he'll maybe fight Colby again. I hope one day to eventually get the opportunity to cross paths, but for this one, I feel I'm getting this kind of underdog vibe. I'm the underdog in my last fight, so I'm gonna go with Gilbert. He's kind of a wild card. I love his grappling style. He's very high energy. He's really developed his striking a lot under Henry Hooft. He's got some really, really serious power in his hands. And hey, it's a fight. If he lands one of those shots, anything can happen. But I know Kamaru has, I think, a 5-inch reach advantage. And they've sparred a lot. They know each other. So I don't know. I really don't know. That's the thing. I think it's literally a 50-50. I mean, you could look back at old sparring footage, maybe if you wanted to get real technical, but we've all developed so much since that time. So like I said, if I'm going to pick for this show, I'm going to go with Gilbert because I just want to see that upset. That'd be amazing. But my gut is telling me Kamaru's most likely going to do the unpopular fan thing and grind one out and get the decision, I think.
All right. Well, awesome breakdown. I really appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything you'd like to plug, or can you let our followers know where they can find you?
Absolutely. I appreciate you for inviting me, giving me this platform to talk and talk about things that I like to talk about. And if you guys want to follow me, I'm at Sasha Palatnikov MMA on Instagram, Sasha Palatnikov on Facebook, and Palatnikov MMA on Twitter. I'd like to shout out Zephyr Apparel. That's my sponsor. They have some of the best quality clothing in sports and performance. And I'm not just hyping garbage. I'm being serious when I say it. If you're looking for some high level quality, training gear, give them a look. And just follow me, tune in, see what other news gets released in the next few days, weeks. Hopefully, if some fight announcement comes soon, and I hope you guys haven't forgotten me, because I know November was a while ago. That was back in 2020. But yeah, no, appreciate you for tuning in, and appreciate you for reaching out, and hopefully we'll do this again in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks again, and we'll definitely be rooting for you in the future. That's for sure.
Appreciate it.
All right, have a good one, man.
You too, brother.
How about that? Another week, another great fighter. Thanks again to Sasha, man. I really appreciate his time here. He took some time out of his day to come hang out with us. Can't say thank you enough to him. Thanks again, Sasha. All right, well, so tomorrow we will be live for UFC Fight Night, the whole event. And tomorrow a.m., I will be live with my friends from the Run Pure Sports side. They'll be breaking down this whole UFC 258 card from a DFS perspective. I'll be giving the bets on it. That'll be live 11 a.m. on the Run Pure Sports YouTube. So make sure you follow Run Pure Sports. Make sure you follow Run Pure Bets. Hit the subscribe button on both of them on YouTube so you get the notification when we go live 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. Hit the like button for me. Come on. Please, I don't ask for much. Hit the damn like button. We got UFC fighters coming on here every week, hanging out with me, chopping it up. Cool-ass dudes, down-to-earth-ass people. So just hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you aren't, follow me on Twitter @JoeyWork. Good luck on your bets this weekend. Enjoy the fights. I'm out.